Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over the top 5 worst teams in the NFL going into week 5. To start it off, we have a bit of a shocker here going into the season. No one thought this team would be as bad as they are, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals.
You suck.
So I know they have Jamar Chase, they have T. Higgins, even though he's hurt. They have Joe Burrow, even though he's also hurt. And they have a lot of talent, and going into the season, they were on my top 5 teams. I thought they could easily make the Super Bowl, but you have to be realistic. You have to say, hey, they've actually played terrible. So they are the 5th worst team going into week 5. And looking at their schedule, it's not like they've played some amazing teams, and that's why they're 1-3. They lost to the Browns, the Ravens, and now the Titans. And none of those teams are great. Some of them are okay. I mean, the Ravens are not bad, but it's not like they're playing the Eagles or the Bills or the 49ers. And their one win was over the Rams, which was a good win, but one good win, 3 bad losses, you're gonna be on this list. Especially when they just lost by 24 points to the Tennessee Titans, and the Titans are not good. If the Titans would have lost this game, I probably would have put the Titans on this list at number 5. And then the 4th worst team in the NFL is the Carolina Panthers. I do know they are one of 2 0-4 teams. However, I think you'll see some valid reasoning why they're not in the top 2. So the Panthers defense is still good. Like, the defense is a top 10-ish defense in the league, but their offense is putrid, and Bryce Young, the rookie quarterback, has been one of the worst in the NFL, if not the worst. In this game, he got sacked 5 times, he had a fumble, and a 17.4 QBR.
I'm in danger!
And this was not against a good defense. This was against the Minnesota Vikings, who were winless heading in. And it's not all his fault. The offensive line is bad at pass protecting. They have absolutely no weapons since they traded DJ Moore. And their running game isn't what it was last year. They have Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders, who is currently injured with a groin injury. So you don't have a run game. You don't have wide receivers. You don't have a good line. You don't have a good tight end. You don't have anything. So while they do have a decent defense, and they were able to keep the game close with the Vikings, if you're 0-4 and you just lost to a team that was 0-3, you have to be in the 5 worst teams in the NFL. Then next up, the 3rd worst team in the NFL. If you had to painfully watch this game on Monday night, you got to see him get sacked not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 times. And then the backup came in and also got sacked. So there were 11 sacks on the Giants in the game. And I felt pretty bad for the Giants. Or not the Giants. Of course I don't feel bad for the Giants as an Eagles fan. I felt bad for Daniel Jones. I mean, watching the press conference, he looked pretty defeated.
But I'm not dead! Yeah, he said he's not dead. Yes, he is. I'm not. He isn't? Well, he will be soon. He's very ill. I'm dead.
I mean, good for him. He did just get his money, so they can't take that back. But the wide receivers weren't doing anything, but did that even matter when the line was as bad as it was? It's not like Seattle has a good defense. It's really a below average defense, and they were able to hold them to 3 points like this. So, and without Saquon Barkley, their offense is potentially the worst in the NFL. If they didn't somehow get one good half of football against the Cardinals and win that game, the Giants would be my worst team in the NFL. But since they did manage a win against a decent team, that's why they got all the way up to number 3. But with a terrible offensive line, terrible wide receivers, Waller hasn't done anything. Saquon's hurt. Who knows when he's back? He says it's a high ankle sprain. They say it's not. So who knows when he'll actually be back? And Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. And for those reasons, they are the 3rd worst team in the NFL. And then I think you could probably guess who these 2 worst teams in the NFL are. The 2nd worst team in the NFL is the Denver Broncos.
The boy has no skills.
Yes, I know they did just win, but you'll see the team they beat later on in this video. So Russell Wilson looked okay-ish. I mean, they're playing the worst defense in the NFL. If not that, maybe the second worst defense in the NFL. Their run game looked decent, but, you know, all of this you have to think, oh, they're playing against the Bears. You're playing against the Bears, and you were down big. So it took 17 points in the fourth quarter for them to win this game by 3. It's not like it was a blowout. Actually, at one point, I thought it was a blowout, and the Bears were going to win. So if the Bears are ahead of you by 20 points, your team's terrible. And I don't know if it's Russell Wilson, who looks better than last year, or maybe the defense has just collapsed because they were good last year, not this year. We thought they had decent running backs, but Javonte did get hurt. We thought they had good wide receivers, but Judy, Sutton, none of them look good, except Mims, the rookie, looks decent, but he's not playing very much. So is it Sean Payton's fault? I don't know. I mean, they were bad before him, but what I do know is the team is very bad. And for why I put them as the second worst team in the NFL, if the Giants played the Broncos, I would bet on the Giants to win. So that's pretty simply, they are the second worst team in the NFL. And then if you made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing to my channel and leaving a comment down below. And then, of course, finally, the worst team in the NFL is the Chicago Bears. So I know we all saw it coming. Chicago Bears are terrible, and honestly, it's like, should they just give up on the year now? Maybe, because Justin Fields he looks bad. He looked okay in this game as well, but he did still have a fumble and an interception that were very costly, really cost them the game. So he did have 4 touchdown passes, so that's something. He looked pretty efficient, and if he looks how he did against the Broncos, they'll get, 4 wins throughout the year. But still, that leaves them at 4-13. So if I were a Bears fan, I think I would just be hoping for the loss each and every week. Maybe trade Justin if you can. I don't know, he's probably not worth anything, so I'd probably keep him. And just start rooting for that #1 pick. And they also have the huge benefit of having the Panthers #1 pick, so they can cheer against them too. Maybe they'll get like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams next year. But unfortunately, if you want to cheer for the Bears, I just don't see how they can beat anybody with a defense that made Russell Wilson look okay in an offense that turned the ball over multiple times against the Broncos. So I have a feeling throughout the rest of this year, the Bears will continue to be amongst the leaders for the worst team in the NFL. So thanks for watching my video. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting on the rankings below. And I'll see you later.